Does Isaiah Stewart play basketball? The only times I've seen highlights of him or see anyone talking about him is he got in a fight or got in someone's face. I'm starting to think AD doesn't really care.
My friends that saw him that did not know any of the story, they were like, he did look sad.
Or just drug testing the babies.
We are not going to be drug testing the babies.
Well, if we're going to put him out there and compete
does.
at a high level, I'm excited to watch him more.
The Van Lith dad.
The Van Lith dad. Yeah, I watch women's basketball to see their dads.
I'm Megan Gailey.
And I'm CJ Toledano.
We're stand-up comedians, we're married,
We're parents, and we're huge sports fans.
welcome to Co-Captains, a podcast that explores sports through a parenting POV.
Join us as we break down the family legacies
And cute babies.
that define the culture of modern sports.
So Aaron Rodgers, as of this recording, is still not on a team. I think he's doing this on purpose.
You think he's doing it, or there's not enough teams that are like, we want Aaron Rodgers or are willing to like...
You know, he loves some drama.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it does kind of make sense that he would be like the last free agent out there. So he spent 6 hours at the Steelers facility a few weeks ago. And then it was reported that he had a throwing session with new Steelers receiver DK Metcalf, who's newly engaged to Normani. Congratulations.
Congrats. Great couple.
And I obviously want nothing more than for Aaron Rodgers to wind up on the Steelers.
Because you dislike the Steelers.
Despise.
Yeah.
Deep inside my bones.
The thing though, I wasn't the biggest Steelers fan. You know, I grew up, that was one of the closest football teams to me. To me, the Steelers, I thought were they're a franchise where they're like, we pick our quarterback and we ride with them. It's just it's throwing off the balance of the universe to me that they're having a quarterback carousel like they are right now.
Yes, because they are, as you're saying, a sound organization.
Yes.
They have the longest tenured coach, I believe, in Mike Tomlin. I think he's been there like 18
And the coach before
years.
that, very
Yeah. And yes, seem to just be like, hey, we're going to be defense forward, and then we're going to have an offense that's kind of always good enough to be matched with our defense to make us go further. And then, it seems chaotic there.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it. And I don't despise the organization. I despise the fans and their towels and them coming into your stadium and going, I'm going to behave. It'd be like if someone came into your home and then pooped on the floor. And it's like, poop on the floor in your own house. You don't need to be doing that in my home.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, it doesn't, Aaron Rodgers doesn't fit in the long history or the storied history of the quarterbacks of like Cordell Stewart, Ben Roethlisberger. Actually, maybe he does. Cordell, though. I love Cordell.
Cordell was on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, but also one of the most exciting quarterbacks I ever watched as a kid. But I just don't, come on, move on. Find a young guy. Draft a young guy. I don't know. Stop doing this.
I think that's easier said than done.
The league needs to force Aaron Rodgers into retirement.
I don't know that they can do that. The NBA league did force the Grizzlies. No, I guess they didn't force, but the Grizzlies decided to
Who knows what happened?
Head coach Taylor Jenkins. Now, I was like a little bit out of the loop because I was in Chicago and I was only getting inundated with the White Sox won a game. It was like pandemonium for them to win one game. And then I saw this and I was like, there's no way the Grizzlies fired their coach at this point in the season.
It's still a bit mysterious. No one does it at this time. Taylor Jenkins was not a bad coach. Like, they had some great seasons. They were second in the West like a couple of weeks ago.
And had that breakout playoff run a few years ago when Ja really like burst onto the scene. Taylor Jenkins, you'll know him as the coach that looks like all of your friends from college.
Yes.
Just like a guy.
Yeah.
And seemed like players liked him, but like why did this is the postseason is in less than 2 weeks.
I feel like what's happening in sports all over now is being mediocre for too long is enough of a reason to give you the boot. Like they never got over, and I don't even think it's really a hump, but like the West is so competitive that and seeing drastic moves like AD and Luka getting traded. The Nuggets looking like they were pretty unstoppable, and also the Thunder now just looking like this unstoppable force as well, and being young and having so many assets. They're just like, we gotta get rid of Taylor.
Speaking of AD, I texted you. I went to high tea while I was in Chicago.
Yep.
I'm not going to say the hotel because I'm guessing it's the hotel where a lot of NBA
You can
teams
just
stay.
say it. Who cares?
I'm not going to.
Why?
Because I don't want to out where they stay. And so there were 6 of us going. I'm obviously the most cute into sports.
Sorority girls.
Yes, and so some gals went early to like have a drink, and they were like, "I think there's an NBA team staying here," and I'm like, "Who?" And they're like, "I don't know. There was a really tall guy," and it's like, "You got to give me more than that." And then
in the NBA,
and then they were like, "Oh, I think it's the Mavs," and I go, "The Mavs are the most dramatic team in the NBA right now." I go, "If I see AD, I'm going to tell him sorry." And they were like, "Who's AD?" I go, "Anthony Davis," and then they were like, "That's who that was." I go, "He has a trademarked unibrow. How did you not know who it was?" So we saw him and then leaving. So I didn't get to see them, but when we pulled up, we saw the big band, like the big bus that they were going to be getting into. Lots of kids outside in Chicago. It's like, I feel like there's kind of celebs all over in Chicago, but they were really excited. And then I saw a really wild BBL in the lobby, and I said, "I think I know who she's with." And she kept hitting lobby. And I had to go, "We're actually in the lobby right now." And she was like, "Oh, thanks."
And I was the one I texted you, I was like, "Oh, if you see AD, tell him sorry." I'm starting to think AD doesn't really care. I don't think he's like thinks he's like in a bad situation.
So my friends that saw him that did not know any of the story, they were like, he did look sad.
I don't know.
So I don't know. They said he looked sad.
Like, I mean, like, I look sad sometimes when I'm just eating lunch by myself.
And they did say another man was carrying his bag. So I was like, well, that's good.
They got those equipment managers.
Another thing that popped up out of the NBA was this Timberwolves Pistons brawl. I don't even know that I would call it a brawl.
I don't know. There was some brawl activity happening in there. I mean, and it was also like they got pushed up against the front row. There was a kid in the middle of it as there was, you know what it was? It was, if you watch it, I don't know if you saw this angle, but there was just like some cheap shots being taken, you know, when you get like a pylon and then there's a guy on the bottom who's just like.
But no one was rearing back. You know, it was more like.
No, there wasn't enough room, thankfully. Because I think it could have been bad. That was the problem with Malice at the Palace. There was too much space. It became too spread out.
Yeah, it was like over here. And obviously, when something of this magnitude happens and the Pistons are involved, that's where everyone's like head goes back to. These suspensions, though, I think sort of reflect that it didn't get that out of hand. It didn't.
Here's my question. Does Isaiah Stewart play basketball? Because the only times I've seen highlights of him or see anyone talking about him is he got in a fight or got in someone's face.
Amazing. And that makes him now my favorite player not on the Pacers.
Yeah.
You know, his new nickname is Beef Stew. Love that.
Great name. And like people are comparing this team to the Bad Boys.
Yes.
I was talking to our producer Max here, and I don't know if that's like accurate. Like the Bad Boys, I don't know, like that was like more of an attitude that they had like physical play. I don't think they're that physical outside of Isaiah Stewart just wanting to fight everybody.
Yeah, I love that.
Maybe Ron Holland too, but it is exciting to me. I know you don't really like this because you're a big Pacers fan, but like the Pistons are an exciting up and coming team.
I'm genuinely happy for them. I'm happy for JB Bickerstaff.
Yep. Who also went off a few weeks ago.
Yes, I mean, and he was mad too.
Yeah.
I mean, you did see a lot of like assistant coaches being in there, and those are usually the guys that are supposed to be pulling them back. And when they're like, no, I'd like to join in as well. But we're talking 2-game suspension for Stewart, 1-game suspension for Holland and Marcus Sasser, which is like with a name like Sasser, you know you got to get up in there. And then Naz Reid and DiVincenzo, 1 game apiece.
Yep.
What the heck?
What do you mean, what the heck?
Malice at the Palace, 1 game for those guys.
Yeah.
Not just the Pacers. 1 game for those guys, and I'm talking about how the Pacers won the title that year.
Well, I mean, Steven Jackson did fist fight a fan on the court.
And why was there a fan on the court?
Yeah.
Again, don't come in my house. Get out of my house.
Anyways, maybe we should shift to more heartwarming news.
Okay.
I feel like it was a good week.
Great week.
I think maybe we can start off with a Lakers story.
Oh, of course.
One of my favorite players right now, Lakers guard Austin Reaves, did a nice little gender reveal for his brother Spencer, who's also a hooper. I am kind of an Austin Reaves expert.
Yes, traveled to Austin Reaves' hometown. Did you meet the brother?
No.
Okay.
We spoke over DM, and he told us where to go. He told us to go to what 2 restaurants we should go to.
Okay, so Spencer Reaves operated as like TripAdvisor for you on your Austin Reaves field trip that you took.
But anyways, I don't know. I'm curious how it like worked out, but they said that whatever color shoe that Austin was going to be wearing in this game
against the Indiana Pacers,
game winner that game, was going to reveal whether his brother was going to have a boy or girl.
And he had pink shoes.
He had pink shoes on, so they're expecting a girl.
It seemed like the broadcast crew sort of knew, because people wear pink shoes all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he tipped it off, and he seemed happy.
And just, to me, more of this in terms of gender reveals.
Stop blowing things up.
No more pyrotechnics. No more shooting things in the air. Crazy contraptions. Everyone's got to hit up Austin Reaves to wear certain color shoes during games.
Your favorite player is, and that's so much more appropriate and fun.
Yes.
And you don't even need it. You could, whatever season it is. Now we're in baseball season. I know Mookie Betts would go up there with a blue bat if he could.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mookie walk-off.
Oh, my God. I think people were concerned that he
lost 23 pounds in 2 weeks.
Gonna live or even play baseball, and then just freaking walk-off home run. The Dodgers are the best. That's it.
Okay. A baby was disqualified. This was at the Bulls. This was, I believe, while I was in Chicago.
Yes.
A baby was disqualified from the baby race for where you're supposed to crawl.
For taking PEDs.
The baby walked.
Because it's taking PEDs.
Well, what do you even win if you win the baby race? Maybe tickets, some sort of fan package,
like a gift card to a grocery store.
I hope it's one of those things for the baby race. I don't know what it is I hope when you see 13-year-olds out there shooting free throws, there need to be certain in-game competitions where they give everyone the prize.
Yeah.
Because if you do the baby race and your baby doesn't win, we don't need dads being like, dog nabbit, mad at their baby that they didn't perform well at a Bucks game.
Yeah. Or just drug testing the babies.
We are not going to be drug testing the babies.
Well, if we're going to put them out there and compete at a high level.
It does beg the question of which baby's been vaxxed, which baby hasn't been vaxxed.
Exactly.
I think that's some information that we would like to get out to the people.
Anyways.
Who's got that MMR flowing through the blood?
Oh, boy. Do you think anyone's you think the Browns are writing down that baby's name at all?
The Browns need to be writing down every single prospect they can.
Okay, this March Madness, this is one of my favorite. I've been sending this to everybody, but Hailey Van Lith, who everyone knows,
We've been on 3 different teams.
Yeah, honestly, she's become sort of like a sports villain. She had went to LSU and it was supposed to be like a Katie to the Warriors situation.
Yeah.
I don't think it backfired, but it just didn't work out.
No, she said, gone. She was Louisville, then LSU, and now she's TCU. And so, honestly, third school, I kind of wrote her off, not going to really pay attention, and she is playing incredibly this tournament. And the clip that came out from a game the other day, I can't remember the play, but she hit maybe a 3 or something, and then it cut to her boyfriend, who is NBA player for the Magic, Jalen Suggs, cheering, and then her dad comes running down the stairs to dap up Jalen Suggs, and it is the most dad thing you'll ever see. Just a dad who's doing this embarrassing shuffle or shimmy down the stairs, to get down the stairs
and then just dapping up a cool boyfriend, and they are both loving it in that moment. And so I don't know, it just and I didn't know much about her dad, and just to see how supportive he is was just cool. And so it made me kind of want to root for Hailey a little bit more in this tournament right now.
It made you wish that I was a college women's basketball star, so you and Grumps could dap up after I hit. I think I could hit a layup, maybe.
Well, yes, in that moment you can tell, and the relationship that I have with your dad, like we talk so much crap about anyone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could tell from that dap up that those guys are like homies, like they're on the same level.
Which made it be like, why aren't they sitting together? But it's like he may have, like Hailey looked like it was like a mom there that looked identical, like an aunt, a sister. But I'm like, we got to get those two together courtside.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch him more.
The Van Lith dad.
Yeah, I watch women's basketball to see their dads. No.
Okay. Other great parent content was Jordan Chiles' parents watching her. Now I do love that Olympians now can come back and compete in college, because a lot of times it was like their careers were over. And so Jordan Chiles of the U.S. Women's gymnastics team, who was just like, I honestly think the Olympics was up and down for her. It was hard, but she is like such a star, and brought so much like joy and energy and like attitude to that team. She's now at UCLA. Scored a perfect 10 on her floor routine, and they show her parents. But like when someone sticks a landing like that, and I had actually never seen her parents, even in all the Olympic like content that I'd seen, they were new to me. And it's like, yeah, your daughter gets a gold medal, then comes back and is gonna like lead UCLA hopefully to a national championship.
Yeah.
Special.
I love miking up parents during this stuff. It's like, I've never worked on that side of like producing a live broadcast, but to me, it is like, it should be a large button, and it's like, hey, should we press the mic'd up parents or like interview parents button while watching them play? Because it's like, you're not going to be more locked into anything but when your child is competing in a sport. I think that is like, you just want it so bad for them. You know how much they've worked. And you yourself are just going to maybe even say like the craziest, silliest thing. So I'm like, yes, I want to see that all the time. Always have a pair of parents mic'd up during every sporting event.
When you've been sitting in the audience with my parents before, when I like hit a punchline, are they like...
Yes, they are. They're like, I've seen both your parents just like nod approvingly, or like, I've also seen them go, oh boy, okay, don't need to hear that one, and I was just like, yep, that's your daughter.
You made her.
Chose to marry. It's nice. Like, supportive parents, I think, take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Okay, the Final Four is set for men and women. Ooh, my Purdue Boilermakers. Heartbreaking. Yeah. I got off stage on Friday and I had so many texts that said, Boilers, Boilermakers, LFG. And so I look at my phone and I go, oh, wow, they must have won. And then it said 60-60 with 0.9 seconds left. And I said, oh, wow, let's see what happened.
Yeah.
Kudos to them for always finding new ways to lose. And that's okay. That's okay.
Gotta watch the inbounder.
Onward.
Don't watch the ball. Watch your man.
Onward and upward. All 4 number 1 seeds made it to the Final Four in men. We say that's boring.
I know, but they're good. There's been some good basketball from all those
I know.
teams.
2 SEC schools, a Big 12 school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think the Big 12 is now like 3 schools.
Yeah.
And Duke in the ACC. Now you have Duke in this like, you don't fill out a bracket.
I don't know what it is.
Our friend PK pulls a team for each person who's in it. I got like Troy. I was out in the first round.
Well, here's the thing. Always have a gambling addict friend. Everyone should have a gambling addict friend.
Everyone has a gambling.
Yes.
Everyone has everyone has multiple friends right now that are taking out a line of credit on their homes for gambling.
Because they during this time they'll be like, March Madness bracket. We got this one, several options.
You want a square?
Yeah, and this one was you pay money, and you draw a name.
Yep.
Out of a hat essentially. And here's the interesting thing about this. you win not by your team winning the game. Your team has to win the game and also cover the spread. And if you don't cover the spread, the losing team wins that, and you pick up their team.
I didn't even realize that.
So you had Troy, but you could have easily, if a team had not covered the spread that you're playing against,
picked up.
You would have then picked up like an incredible team.
I didn't.
You
got Duke out the gate.
Well, no, I had Oregon, which was like a fine poll.
Oh, you had Oregon.
I had Oregon, but someone didn't cover the spread. It's almost like, I think I was trying to figure out the how this worked of like, it's great having Oregon because like they can win you a game, but also they can prevent a spread being covered. And so I ended up with Duke. I never win stuff like this.
No.
I mean, I was like, I paid for both of our entry fees. I'm like, I'm just giving this dude $60. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we played in fantasy basketball last week,
Yes.
and I beat you 7-1.
yeah, I haven't touched that.
I know, but
I haven't
that's
updated
strange.
it. And I won it the first year we did it, and I'm done.
Okay, so you have Duke.
I have Duke.
The winner gets.
$1,200. So sick.
I want $1,200 so
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
The baby
Yep.
needs it. That's
Give it to the baby.
clothes and
Yeah.
breast milk's free.
Yeah.
That's kind of why it's pretty cool.
It's great because $1,200. Yeah, that's one day of living in Los Angeles.
I have made 80%. I'm 80% in the women's bracket. I'm doing very well there. I have South Carolina and UConn in the championship, with UConn winning. That is on track to perhaps happen. And Paige Beckers breaks news and says she is declaring for the WNBA draft. I think everyone sort of thought that this was coming, and so gets that news out of the way and gets to just focus on the Final Four now. And I hope win it all, which would be like a very storied way to go out. And I think also would like show some hope for Juju and all the Juju lovers out there to be like, you can come back from an injury and you can win and you can go on to be the number one pick.
Juju's going to be fine.
They've been texting, and I love that.
Yeah, it would have been so cool to see them head to head, and
well, they met they met in the Elite Eight.
Yes.
So that's on the bracket, people. We gotta. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't put the season finale 3 weeks before the finale. White Lotus, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
We know so many of the NBA kids.
Yeah.
See so many of them. Get to even watch some of their hoop skills. Now, obviously, a famous NBA kid is in the NBA playing with his dad. So we thought it'd be fun to build our own starting five of the next generation. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan.
Yep.
I love everything the Westbrooks do. The mom is a hooper. The dad is a hooper. You just see Westbrook on the back of the jersey and you go, that kid's getting buckets. So I'm taking Noah Westbrook.
All right, Noah Westbrook, who just looks exactly like his dad. We got to have an enforcer. We got Draymond Green Jr.
Yeah, and it's like hard to not like
Draymond Green Jr. just sounds hilarious.
I'm also drawn to Damian Lillard Jr.
Yeah.
I know that having your father's name,
Yep.
especially like a Gary Payton Jr., that puts a lot of pressure. But it's like, yeah, if we can have Draymond Green Jr. and Damian Lillard Jr. on the same team,
Yep.
I think we got to do that. I am excited to learn that Joel Embiid has a son named Arthur. That's
Yeah.
so cute.
You think named after the character Arthur?
I think named after the fist meme.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the character.
No, just the meme.
Just the meme.
Just the meme.
All right. So we got a center. We got a point guard. We got 2 point guards.
Yeah.
I gotta go just off a name alone, and because I love both generations of this player, Tiger Sabonis.
You know what? I thought you were going to have to do that. I was going to be left to take Tiger.
No.
Final. This could be a third generation NBA star.
Arvydas Sabonis, one of my favorite players. DeMontis put in some good years at the Pacers.
Yeah.
Still rooting for him.
Tiger is a baby.
Yeah.
I don't even know that Tiger is a year old.
Get him on that same plan that the baby race kid was on.
But we're ready. Obviously, with my final pick, we need a forward anyways. I love this entire family. The brothers are good. I think the family tree is strong. And whenever I see these kids, they're so cute and funny.
Yeah.
So I'm going Liam Antetokounmpo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we've got a Sabonis, an Antetokounmpo, a Westbrook, a Lillard, and a Draymond Green. I think we're in really
Pretty good. I don't know who's beating us.
No.
Maybe nap time.
That was a good job.
Got him.
In light of the recent scuffle that broke out, we thought it would be fun, and as we near the end of the season, for you to guess who is topping the charts with most technical fouls in the NBA.
Okay.
Now, some of these guys even have so many technical fouls that when they get a technical foul, then they are suspended.
Okay.
So
how many am I trying to guess?
I would like you to guess, let's say 5.
Okay, the top 5.
Or just, top 5.
Yeah, and you'll just tell me where they rank.
Yep.
Okay. So first I'm going to go Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart comes in at number 3.
Wow.
With 14 technicals. I don't even think that's that many. It's 82 games?
Yep.
That's one every...
But they are impactful technical fouls.
Yes, he's making the most of those. Beef stew, number 3.
My second guess, I'm going to go with Draymond Green.
Draymond Green clocks in at number 5.
Wow.
He has 12. So he's been on his best behavior. He said he was getting 0, right?
Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to go. This is where, honestly, it gets a little murky here for me. I'm going to go Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is number 1.
Wow, yes.
And now that I say Draymond said he was going to have 0, I believe it was Anthony Edwards who actually said, I'm going to have 0. He has 17, my lucky number. And the thing is, he's such a lovable, angel, sweet, little funny guy. How is he leading the league?
So I've guessed 1, 3, 4, and 5?
You've guessed 1, 3, and 5. You're on a roll. So you just need 2 and 4. 2 is a very obvious one. I'll say 4 was surprising to me. Who's the greatest villain of the last 3 seasons?
Greatest villain of the last 3 seasons?
Or a funny villain?
Jokic?
No, such a big villain. His own team was we got to get him out of here.
Wait, hold on. Why am I blanking on this?
You watched
Luka?
No. He played the Lakers very, 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 very recently.
Oh my gosh. Dylan.
So it was obvious it wasn't there.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, who I really like, is on my fantasy team.
I've actually have grown to like him too.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good player. And there's a great clip of him in college. I was like, has this guy always been like this? There's a great clip of him in college, and I think this has been a trend that people have been covering where you're up a bunch, there's time on the clock, and you shouldn't do anything. And he I forget, tried to shoot a 3 or try to dunk it, and Coach K was like, you're better than that. And Dylan Brooks is like, I'm sorry.
He played for Duke?
He played for Oregon? I think so, Oregon. Yeah.
But it was against Duke.
Yeah.
And Coach K was like, you know what? It seems like your own coach hasn't gotten through you. I'm going to try.
He's like, you're better than that. And Dylan was like, yeah, I'm sorry.
He did the Tristan Thompson from earlier in the season. Okay, so now you need number 4. I don't think of this guy as getting teed up. I think of him as complaining.
Okay, give me one clue.
He has been he's been in trade rumors. This is probably the last season he's with his team.
John Morant?
Nope. Came out hot and then was a really strong young star. It's kind of petered out. He does complain. So maybe that's what he's getting teed up for.
Young star.
Young. Trae
Young.
Yep.
The heck? Yeah, I can see that. He's a little bit of a flopper.
But you get teed up for flopping now?
No, but I think can complain about calls a little bit. I like him. I actually really do like him.
We call flops on our sons sometimes.
Yeah.
He'll pretend, he'll go, oh, and it's like, no, dog,
or
you
cry.
flopped.
Yeah, you're flopping.
You're flopping. As March Madness winds down, producer Max is going to give us the name of a player who won an NCAA title and an NBA championship. And we're going to have to guess the college and the NBA team where they were victorious at.
Okay.
I can already guarantee I'm going to be pretty bad at this.
I'm curious if I'm good at it because I feel like I don't really care about college as much until maybe the last year or two. So let's do it.
But he wanted us to work against each other, and I said I want to be with my baby.
All right, gonna help each other out.
Okay, number 1, Al Horford.
Al Horford, Florida in the Celtics.
Nailed it.
That was so.
Yeah, no, that's Florida team was legendary.
That was Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah, Al Horford. There's more.
But it's they're all gone, but him.
Yeah.
Number 2, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis was Kentucky and Lakers. Now I'm just trying to do it faster than Eric.
Let's see if Megan can get one.
Okay.
I'm thrilled to be on his team.
Dante DiVincenzo.
You got this.
Ooh, I mean, he was on the Celtics.
No.
Well, he was on the Knicks, but they didn't win a. Who did he win a title with?
Oh, I know. Yep.
East or West?
West. He spent 1 year there?
No, he won with an Eastern team.
Wait, he did? Dante DiVincenzo?
Yeah.
The Bucks?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wow,
the
yes.
Bucks. Gosh, he's really.
You know this.
Did he play for UConn?
No.
It was a big deal when he went to the Knicks because he played for this college. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, they all went there together.
Oh, Villanova.
Yeah.
I almost went there.
Yeah.
They gave laptops if you're a freshman.
I remember laptops being a big.
And I was like,
come to our school, we got a laptop.
I
You're
was
not
like,
going to
cool.
learn.
I did know he went to Villanova, and I am
Yeah,
disappointed
the Nova
in
boys.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Quinn Cook.
I don't know that I even know who that is.
Quinn Cook went Duke and Lakers. You know Quinn Cook. Yeah, he was like a small guy. He was like a G leaguer. He was pretty good in college.
Was he on the bubble team?
Yes.
Gosh, how quickly I forget.
And the great joke about him is that they kept leaving him behind.
Oh yeah, I do remember the guy that kept missing the bus.
Yeah.
Okay, but
We left Quinn Cook.
I forgot his name. Didn't he go live?
Yeah.
And he was like, "You guys forgot me."
God, I miss that team. Lovable. They loved each other, and love won them a championship.
Okay, I'll try this one too.
Okay, Danny Green.
Oh, easy.
He won with the Lakers.
Correct.
You know it.
Why do you keep saying that?
Historic program.
Yeah.
Duke.
Yeah. No.
Close. Geographically very close.
UNC.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm shocked I've known these. Except for, I forgot Dante, what team he won a championship with in the NBA.
We should go on Jeopardy.
No, I don't think this is going to be a Jeopardy category.
Yeah, but you could do this category and then I could do everything
the rest.
else. They're like oceans and you're like, I'm out.
All right. That was another episode of Co-Captains. You have been my wife.
You have been my husband. The baby's been moving during this.
Dang, he's trying to get into the podcast.
He's having a nice, he's like, why don't they draft me? Yeah, I'll be in Vegas with Chelsea Handler on April 18th. And that's about it.
That's about it. Got to cool it down.
Follow Whistle.
Follow Whistle Sports.